Everyone thinks that teens in our world today use alcohol, tobacco, or drugs to cope with everyday struggles. You may think they do,
but they don't. Welcome to the But They Don't podcast, a podcast for teens by teens. Join us as we cover substance use prevention, mental health, community conversations, and more.
Hello, and welcome back to the But They Don't podcast. I'm Jayden.
I'm Chen.
I'm Tanna.
And we have a special guest today.
I'm Elle.
So how was everybody's New Year's?
I had to work the whole time, so it's pretty boring. I don't know. I ate some food, but that's a special part of it.
Yeah, I didn't do anything too special. I slept in.
Yeah. I was at Disney World with my family, and we didn't stay up for the whole New Year, but we were celebrating watching the fireworks there. So it was really nice.
Fun. Mm-hmm. So, what's your natural high?
I'd say my natural high is probably being around my friends. This year, being a senior, I've made a lot of new friends, especially during Teacher Cadet, which is a new class only for seniors. And being there, it's really helped me just become more myself and be with people like me, like that want to be teachers or want to go into education, no matter, because teaching goes into everything that you do, I think.
No, I'm also in Teacher Cadet, and it has been just unlike any other class I've ever taken before. I definitely don't regret taking it. I personally don't even want to be a teacher, but I think you can gain a lot from that class, even if you want to go into a different profession.
I agree with Tanna, because I also don't really want to go pursuing teaching or education, but I think that during our field experience and even in the classroom, you gain a lot of skills that expand beyond teaching, and you know what teachers deal with every day, that you can use those skills and gain that knowledge and insight to expand on beyond the fields. So
I'm not old enough to do Teacher Cadet yet, but I've heard about it, and I'm going to try and do it next year, and it just seems like an amazing class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially the teacher that does instruct it. They carefully pick who's going to do it, and they make sure that they get you included. It's a teacher that knows everyone and can connect to anyone and can be there for you whenever you need it. If you need to talk about something, especially if you're having something that you have, you're struggling with, they'll always be there for you. And the friends that you make, I think they do honestly last a lifetime. Even if you don't necessarily know them your whole life, you definitely have someone to go to no matter what.
Mm. And we have a lot of inside jokes, which are funny. So
sounds very fun. Well, thank you, Elle, for sharing your natural high.
Of course.
So we're going to be talking about marijuana use among teens, and just how teens are surrounded with marijuana use. So I'm going to start with a story about how I personally have experienced people around me using weed. So I live with my grandparents, but when I used to live with my parents, they abused marijuana, and it was really hard for my sister and I to see just that going on and the addiction and the struggle. So yeah, it was just difficult, and I'm forever grateful to have gotten out of that situation and that my parents got the help that they needed. So yeah.
Okay. Well, marijuana use among teens has increased 245% since 2000. The number of teen marijuana users has now exceeded the number of teens that drink alcohol. But this is more than just smoking weed. Many teens are getting high with edibles like pot brownies or gummies. Many of these edible products are made to look attractive toward teens. A lot of the containers and packaging looks like name brand candies and snacks. Another reason that these edibles are more frequently used by teens is because they are much more discreet, and it's hard to even notice when they are using it.
Yeah, it's really just a huge pandemic going around with all of these edibles that make them seem harmless, but they're not. So THC is another alternative that teens have been using very frequently. THC is the compound in these products that creates the high whenever using. Most of the candies and edibles that we talked about contain some levels of THC. A lot of teens THC users have been getting high with dab pens, which are very similar to vapes and cause a lot of the same dangers and have the same dangerous materials in it. So why has there been such a big increase in marijuana use for teens? This big jump directly comes from the legalization of recreational marijuana in 21 states and over 30 states for medicinal purposes. This legalization has made marijuana much easier to access, and a lot of these products, especially THC, can be found in vape shops and even gas stations.
And some of the dangers of THC is that using it causes a late onset when trying to get high. This can cause a user to ingest much more than necessary and can actually poison them. It's very important to spread awareness about the dangers of these products and try to avoid them at all costs.
Okay, thank you guys so much for tuning in into today's episode of But They Don't. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook at Pickens County Youth Board, Instagram and TikTok at We Are PCYB. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay.